time out. We got to use inverse operations. Okay. Okay, but you still, the inverse, the 2 is being multiplied, and subtraction is not the inverse of multiply. That's a trick. Okay? But it's best to leave the division till last. 5 goes first. And then? Okay. And then? So, is -6 the solution for this equation? Yes. Now, that is one way. The other way, you can substitute and simplify. So, you can actually do the algebra to find the answer, or, depending on your strengths, you can put in the -6 in here and let the calculator do the talking. If you put in 2 times a -6 plus 5, do you get out a -7 in your calculator? You should, right? So when you have the same answer on both sides, then you know it's a solution as well. So you decide, okay, ladies and gentlemen? You choose your method. You can either use algebra or you can substitute and then the variables disappear. So you know your strengths. So play on those strengths, okay? So here, page 34. Get it clipped up here. All right. We did like a 2-step solution for an equation. So if you understood what we just did, you've got this assignment. That's as complicated as it gets. I'm going to do it a 1-step equation to make sure you know what's the inverse operation of addition. What's the inverse operation of addition?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Now, why do I want to move the 3?
Yes.
What's the point?
So it gives you what you need.
Yeah, you want x alone, remember? Isolate the variable, okay? So you should be really good at this, right?
Me?
Oh, yeah, you.
Yeah, go.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
I'm picking on you. I'm picking on you. Okay.
Why is that?
Because I've seen you in action. Okay, you've done good.
Oh.
In the past, you've done very well with algebra. So I'm just honoring your past, okay? Yes, I have. He's been in my math class before, so he's got a pass with me. Some of you, anybody else? Ricky, you've been in math class with me. Anybody else?
I have.
Yep, Gabe's been in math class with me, so
Ricky, you've been in here.
we got some history. Yep. Okay, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, the difference between this algebra, and our last chapter of algebra is last chapter we had whole numbers. This chapter we have integers. So where could you go wrong? You could forget -7 minus 3 is a -10. Okay. Here, I think we all know we're supposed to add the 8, correct?
Yes.
But do you know what a -11 plus 8 is?
Yeah, 4.
Close.
4.
Close,
Positive
not
3. Wait, that'd be negative?
Yeah, because 11 is, if I took the absolute value of both, 11 has a more value.
Oh, I thought you said 8 minus 11.
Same thing.
No?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
Yep. So, there you go.
Concussion, bro.
Kindness.
Concussion.
Kindness.
Got scared. We got the
Okay.
next one.
Now we're getting,
Miss Fisher.
yes,
Can I go to the bathroom?
if it's emergency.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Okay, this story, they want to check your understanding. If you realize when you're solving algebra equations, you want to put together all the numbers you can first. Like here, you don't want to start me moving things around until you take a negative 8 plus 2. Now, that's just good advice. Simplify first. Like if this was a bridge, you'd want to keep this side simple. Negative 8 plus 2, negative 6. Okay. This side, I would multiply these two. Isn't that what that means? Parentheses
Yes.
around a negative next to a number means multiply. What's a negative 11 times negative 4?
44. Negative 44.
Close,
It's
positive.
44.
Now that's a trick. I'm glad you said something. The negative goes with the number, friends. Now or later, if you did it, Julian, he said a negative 44, you would still have a subtraction. See that? So sooner or later, you have the negative with the number. So for me, it's keep it simple. Sooner is better for me. All right? Okay, now what if there is some multiplication in the story? What's the inverse of multiply? Divide, okay. So how do I isolate the x? Both sides. Okay, I don't know. I think it was my college class last night. Somebody missed a bunch of questions because they didn't take the negative with the number. And so I had to take points off for no negative. So I don't want, like, they're not in this class. They're in a pre-algebra class. But that's what this is. This lesson is algebra with integers, and that's what they're learning too. Okay? So even if you don't have this class in your required classes for college, it's still a good, to keep your muscles strong in math. All right, so negative divided by negative is a positive. Positive divided by negative. There we go. Now, people don't do this very often in their young adulthood. You can't, but in elementary, they like force you to do this. You could check your answer. Like if it's a high stake test, which these tests are, because they're 75% of your grade, you might want to, if I put that negative 10 back in my question here or here, I can check to see if I'm right, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I just put it over here. Negative 3 times negative 10 is 30. So, yeah. I didn't finish answering this one, did I? I was all about the other one. Sorry. So back up the truck. I apologize. I'm going to box this one out so you know it's a separate problem. Okay. So I can put a negative 50 over here, and I could even put it in there or put it in here, and it always should come out balanced. That's kind of like the definition of algebra. Then the word algebra means restoring a broken parts. You're trying to make everything even again. That's what algebra is doing. Kind of your wibble wobble until you get that variable equal to a value. All right, these are kind of tricky. What's the opposite of divide? Multiply. Okay, so take the negative with the number, and then we have cancel. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. Negative 20 times, see my mistake? You see my mistake? What did I do? What's missing?
The negative.
Negative, yes. So 2 negatives make a positive.
Nice.
So that was true. That was close, wasn't it? Okay. And we've got all sorts of stuff. Let me see if I can find a really good one with you. Okay.
Mega should Antonio.
I got to do a couple of more examples. Hang on. I'm sad you guys aren't taking notes. Some of you are. Thank you for taking notes.
I'm too smart.
Not everybody's taking notes. Okay, here we are. What do you do first? Yes. It's just smarter. Do the multiply or divide last if you can. Last step. Yep. So, since it sounds like algebra is your cup of tea.
I'm right down.
Oh my goodness. That's great. Did you have a 0 in your questions? Like, was there a question that had a 0 as a part of the problem?
Yes. What?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, let me see. Okay.
Yes.
You guys want to see
Whoa, can't see what I got here. Here we go. One. Up here.
I know, I'm concentrating.
Okay. No, you're messing. Please don't. Okay. Distraction. Here we go. Look, look, look. What's my first step?
Divide the 3.
It's
Minus
subtract. Yes. Yep. It looks like it's almost solved already, right? But you got to get the R alone.
-9.
Okay. Equals.
3R.
Yep.
So -3.
Yes.
-3R.
Okay. Let's read that again. -3 equals R. There you go. So language, right? You shouldn't have a variable in your answer unless you're like simplifying stuff. If you're solving equations, your answer is going to be a value. And that's the directions for this assignment. It's going to say solve, solution, and such. Oh boy, they've got lots of word problems. And you know, every word problem is different, right? Every story is different. So all I could do is give you some general steps, and you're going to have to apply it to your problem. So this is what the book suggests you do. Step number 1, it says set up a variable. They call it a dictionary, but it's like a variable list. Sometimes there's more than one thing missing. And so that's why you've got to figure it out. What are you going to name the variable? That is the first question. And too many times we do that last. So make sure you know what the variable means first. Okay, step number 2 is you're going to write an equation using that variable. And that's the hardest part. You got to know the words withdrawn, more than, the difference between, you know, all those words. That's why I can't give those to you. You're going to have to experience them and get support. Ask a question if you don't know. Now, once you have that equation, this is what we're doing in this lesson, is solving the equation. Solve for that variable. Now, your equation might not answer the problem. Your variable might be what's missing, but that doesn't answer the question. So they say, be sure you answer the question. Like the question might have what's missing is one person's age, and then they want to know what the other person's age is in the story, so you have to do some more work to get it. And then question number 5, see if it's reasonable. Ask yourself, is this reasonable? In other words, if you get somebody's age to be 455, you know that's not reasonable. So you knew you did something wrong. That might not help you get it right, but that might help you ask a good question to find out how to set it up and find out your mistakes. Okay, so there's bank accounts. There's just word problems with numbers. What does twice mean?
Twice the value.
What do I do when I write the equation?
Multiply it twice.
Multiply it by
2.
2. Very good. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave y'all to your own devices then. I think we've got her done. So if the answer is an integer, it could be positive, could be negative. Be ready for that. Let me know how I can help you. If you have a